Hello.
Hey, hear me? Look at the cheese.
Yeah. Trey. No, they ain't got no more. We need about like 5 movies.
Yeah.
Your refrigerator.
There's like 100 people in there.
Other people have that.
My fridge is going out. It won't freeze in my ice cream and stuff.
Did you lose anything?
The ice cream though, something like that, everything else is already frozen. They always go
Keith?
first response and back.
You better come on in here.
Keith, come on. They usually real quick.
Hey, Mr. Cummings.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great, great. Where are you from?
I'm from Florida, in Bradenton.
Okay, okay. I'm from Greenville, South
Which part?
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yes.
Wow.
So what grade are you in?
10th.
Yeah, okay.
Lord, I gotta have you. Mm-mm.
Good afternoon, brothers, Kappa Leaguers. Good afternoon, Kappa leaders.
Good afternoon.
I'm Herb Marshall from Alexandria, Virginia, Fairfax. Got it right here.
How you doing, brothers? Young man?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good people. How y'all doing today?
I'm
Good.
doing well.
Good.
Doing well, Lou.
Good, Newt.
What's good? What's good?
Oh, okay, I can hear.
Rolling right along, brothers.
Is your video enabled? You don't have to
Can you hear
enable
me?
it until it's time for the meeting.
All right. We got 2 minutes to showtime.
Gotcha. We're
See you
good.
on the other side. Bye.
Sees everybody there. Okay. See you.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hear everybody.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. How everybody doing? Y'all doing good?
Yes.
I'm doing well.
That's good. That's good.
When it says
I'm
stop.
doing all right.
Nobody's coming on.
Cool, cool.
Hello, Blake.
Hey, Mr. Cummings.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, how are you?
Great. Hey, Kristen.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Cummings.
Hey, how are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you
Donovan?
doing?
Hello.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Is everybody doing good today?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Can't complain.
Right?
Everybody's like, yes, it's my way to get out of doing the same thing every day.
Right? It's not, they not wrong.
So we hope that you guys are doing well. We hope you guys are enjoying these sessions. We have a little bit of a change today. So you're not going to hear from a lot of adults today. You're going to actually hear from your own Kappa leaguers. And if there's anything that you guys would like to lead a session on, please make sure that you email Mr. Burnett or your Kappa League Guide Right Director, and then we'll get that to us, and we'll give you the opportunity to lead a session as well. So think about what you want to do, and we'll give you that opportunity, okay?
Okay.
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 So we're going to give everybody just 1 minute, and then we're going to get started, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Ashton,
Yes, sir.
how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. Making sure you're on the line. Is Devontae on the line yet? Devontae Dawson, you on the line yet?
David Goldsmith, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good afternoon, brothers.
Good afternoon.
Kappa
Good
Leaguers.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Is Zion on the phone yet?
Then you can search that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking him.
I'm
No,
trying to get
I don't.
Zion on now. Okay, we had some problems earlier today in our local.
Jesus.
Did you catch that, Brother Jackson? I
Hey,
just said.
Sorry, what was that?
It say your name. It say my name. It say my name when you join.
Hey, Corbin.
Brother Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
How
so
are
I'm
you?
trying to get Zion on now.
Okay.
We had some problems with earlier in our local Kappa League meeting today, so I'm trying to get him on now. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
We're still looking for Devontae.
Hey, Dominic.
How you doing?
Hey, Xavier.
What's up,
Xavier.
Ashton? What's up, Elijah?
Hey, Bryce.
Xavier Simmons.
What's up? Who's that? Who's that talking?
What's up, JJ?
Hey, is Grayson Wells on?
Can't find it.
Is this Cap League for Fortis?
Brother Jackson, you got my mic check?
Brother Harrison, I got you.
All right, good. I'll do a screen share on my time, but I'm good to go.
All right.
So, what age group is this? Like, what age group does this go to?
This is from 6th grade to 12th grade.
I'm cool.
Brother Jackson.
Okay.
What's up, Xavier?
Who's that called my name again? I think it might be one of the brothers from my chapter.
That was me. I said, what's up, Ashton? I was saying, what's up?
Fortis Cap League?
Brother Bass, we see you in
Mr.
there.
Dawson. Okay, guys, hold on 1 second. Devontae,
Yes, sir.
mic check, please. You good?
All good.
All right, so the last person we're waiting for is Zion to get on, but he's not till later, so we'll work on that one.
Hey, brothers. This is Nick from Little Rock
Brother
Kappa League.
Jackson.
I got 2 of my Kappa Leaguers trying to log in right now.
Brother
Okay,
Jackson.
that's fine. They can just join in. Brother
All right.
Neely.
Brother Jackson, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
What do you got to do?
This is 14.
All right, hold on 1 second, everybody.
All right.
Brother Jackson, can you unmute Sean Patrick?
What's up, Gabriel?
You said Patrick?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sean Patrick or Patrick Sean. You might see that on
Patrick?
Yeah, he's
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So hold on a second. Everybody's going to be muted.
What do you want me to do, sir? Again.
You're going to do the Kappa League pledge.
All right. So I pledge.
Hold on.
You start?
No, we're going to get started in just a second.
All right. Yes, sir.
Patrick, we make it super easy. You'll see it on the screen.
Yes, sir. I already have it on my phone.
Oh, cool.
Okay. All right. Let's get this slideshow started.
And Patrick, just so you know, just so you remember, you read both sides of it because they won't be talking.
All right. Yes, sir.
You ready, Brother Jackson?
Yes, sir. I'm about to open it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and it's all on you, Brother Neely.
Welcome, Kappa Leaguers. Once again, we convene today, April the 18th, 2020, and we thank you for coming on to join this National Kappa League virtual meeting. We look for an outstanding hour. As Brother Jackson just stated, that we are going to be led by the Kappa Leaguers, and who better to lead each other than your own peers. So we just ask you to be on your best behavior, enjoy it, and make sure you receive something that you can carry back to your cluster and share with the members of your Kappa League. Again, we want to thank National Kappa League for, just reaching out during this period of time to make sure that we engage with our Kappa Leaguers. And I'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to Brother Michaela and Brother Jackson and Brother Hasid for putting all of this virtual Zoom meeting together. But together we can make a difference, and together it's a beautiful thing. And so without other, I would like to introduce Sean Patrick Donna from the Greenville Alumni Chapter of Kappa League under the leadership of Alex Cummins in the Southeastern Province to lead us in the Kappa League Pledge.
So what is the purpose of the Kappa League?
You read that too.
The purpose of Kappa League is to promote and develop the leadership potential of its members through participation in club-oriented activities, and at the same time motivate them to raise their aspiration level. What is our pledge? I pledge that as a member of this Kappa League, I will faithfully and truly perform to the best of my ability the duties and responsibilities to uphold the objectives of good leadership development.
Thank you, Brother Kirkpatrick, Kappa Leaguer from the Greenville Alumni Chapter. And now we're going to move on. And Brother Jackson, do you want to introduce Ashton to lead this next session? Is he on the line?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Okay, can you just fall in and in respect?
Yes, sir, I can. Well, my name is Ashton McLean. I'm a member of Ken Madison chapter of Kappa League here in Mississippi, the central part of the state. And I'm going to be doing a discussion group today. If you go to the next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to have Jarquise Brown from my chapter to go over the questions, and he's going to go over what we're going to be doing in that discussion group. And when we're done, I'll go over the answers for everybody and kind of elaborate on them. So, Jarquise, if you're on. I don't know if everybody's mic is muted or not, but I believe you can unmute it.
It's mute. Hello, how y'all doing? I'm Jarquise Brown. I'm a member of Ken Madison Alumni Chapter of Kappa League. And today we will be talking about, in the breakout groups, we'll be talking about proper etiquette. And the questions, it should be on a string for the discussion groups. So when we go in the breakout groups, we were talking about that. And my brother Ashes, he have the answers.
All right, so I guess everybody can I'll go. Would you guys like me to just say the question, y'all write them down, or y'all take a screenshot? What would y'all like to do? Either way you want to. I'll give everybody a little time to screenshot the questions or write them down, and you'll discuss them in your discussion group.
Fellas, I'm going to ask everybody to stop drawing on the screen, please.
Ashton, are you ready for them to go to the breakout groups?
If everybody has the questions wrote down or either screenshot, yes, we can go ahead and go to our discussion groups.
Jackson, Brother Caleb, you still want to give us 20 groups again? And you've got how long, Brother Jackson?
We're on lost, Brother Jackson.
Ben, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's 10 minutes, everybody, to go to your breakout rooms. There's 21 breakout rooms. So we'll see you back here in 10 minutes. Please make sure that you all sit except to go to your room. All right? Thank you.
We need to find that Capital League will keep growing on the stream too.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
If you can disable annotate, that should take care of that.
All right, fellas, don't forget you got to unmute yourselves. So feel free to unmute yourselves. There's only like 7 of us in here.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
All right, this is your show. It's not. I'm just here to help.
Okay.
So do we just discuss each question, or is there like a specific question we're supposed to answer?
No, you're supposed to discuss each question.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I screenshotted them, so let's see. Question 1. When you are introducing yourself, which name should you say?
Your first and last.
So, last?
First and last name.
Yeah. Question 2. When introducing 2 people, you should
Introduce them first.
I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what they mean is, if you guys are introducing yourself to me, right? And if you and Chase are buddies, and you say, whatever you're going to do to introduce yourselves to me, how would you introduce each other? Matthew, Kamal, Jimmy, Osiris, y'all can jump in too. But that's what they're asking is, if you're gonna introduce yourself, like to me, and I'm an adult, there's 2 or 3 of y'all, how do you say, this is who I am and this is who these other people are? And I'm intentionally not trying to give it to you.
Oh, okay. So you'd like introduce yourself and then like add in how you know that other person or other people.
Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
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 Okay, so Kamal, give me a dry run. What that look like? 1 or 2 of your Kappa League colleagues.
So I would be like, my name's Kamal Francis. This is my fellow Kappa Leaguer, Chase Martin.
Perfect.
Or like, my name is Rossi Walker, and this is my best friend, Kenneth Hiroki.
Yep, also right. Okay, next question.
Question 3. During an in-person conversation, what percentage of your messages is delivered through your spoken words?
What?
So it's basically asking, like, when you're having a conversation with someone, there's various forms of conversation that you're having. There's verbal and nonverbal communication. So the question's asking what percentage of your communication is verbal?
Would you say like 50% or something compared to nonverbal, or?
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Hey, so are you capturing the answers, or is somebody capturing your answers?
Okay. Number 4. When you say I'm sorry, what does your apology imply that most people aren't aware is included in an apology?
You have to talk about what you're sorry for, like why you're sorry.
Oh,
Excuse
right.
me, may you repeat that?
You have to say why you're sorry, or like what you're apologizing for. When you say I'm sorry, you're basically taking ownership for your actions.
Right.
Or what you did wrong in the situation.
Number 5. In the first sentence of a thank you card, what should you do? Say what you're thanking them for, I guess.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. You have to say like what you're thanking them for, so.
Right.
Fellas, are y'all done with y'all's questions?
Yes, we finished all the questions.
Perfect. Okay. Where's everybody from?
I'm from Maryland, Elkridge, Maryland.
Me and my brother are from Atlanta, Georgia.
My brother and I are from Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay, that's a couple of y'all. Who did I not hear? Brandon, where you from? Did I hear that? I don't see his mic on. We're about to start getting full. So I'm in Frisco, Texas. But I'm originally from Ohio. I'm a Buckeye by trade. Cool. Well, we're going to drop back into the main room. Don't forget, guys, I wanted to remind you, if there's something that you want to lead or a topic you want to see, make sure you email Mr. Burnett or your Kappa League director to get it in. And then you'll put your presentation together. We'll get a look at it. And you can lead a session too, okay? Well, I will see y'all back in the room in just a few minutes.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah.
What, did you kick yourself out of room?
Yeah. I wanted to be back early to see if the annotate was really off, if you could turn things off mid-meeting. I think you can.
Everybody's going to be coming back in 20 seconds.
Cool.
Yo, who got that Naruto picture, yo? Who's got the Naruto picture? Mr. Leonard?
Yes, sir.
What you know about Naruto?
I know. All I know is I watched all of it, and I read the manga.
You read the manga?
Yep.
Okay. You know about the Uzumaki house?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, they're talking Naruto. It's not the Uzumaki house. It's the Uzis.
Uzumaki coin.
Man, he said you don't know what you're talking about.
See, first of all, they have to do a little bit of history because what do you think a clan is? A clan is a house, bruh.
Literally the same thing.
Group of people, like a community, but like a little bit smaller.
All related, so that's a house.
I mean, they all got bodied by Kuruma, so it's okay.
But it's all right. Y'all don't want to. Y'all don't want to deal with Baruch.
I don't know. I think it's like.
Okay.
We're back again.
Everybody, we're gonna put everybody back on mute,
No.
and then we're going to let Ashton take back over. Ashton, you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
You need Jacquees to be unmuted too.
Yes, sir. You can unmute him.
Let's see. There he is.
All right. Did everybody get their questions answered?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I guess we can do it like this. If anybody from breakout group 1 wants to answer the question number 1, you can go ahead and give it a shot. So the question was, okay, you go ahead and answer.
No, I wasn't ready yet.
Oh, you want to? I'm sorry. All right. So when you're introducing yourself, which name did you say?
First name and last name?
That's what everybody was saying in my group. But actually, when you introduce yourself in the name that you'd want the person to call you, whether it's your middle name and last name or whether it's just your last name. So however you want them to address you.
I would like it first and last name because I don't like people who call me by my middle name.
Yeah, me too. All right. Question number 2. When introducing 2 people, what should you do? If anybody from group number 4 wants to answer this question, they can answer it, or just anybody.
Okay. I can go ahead and answer.
I'll answer it.
I think we're booting on.
Amber, hear me?
Okay. Shake hands. Say it's nice to meet you.
Can you hear me?
Be polite. Say everything in a nice tone.
Right. That's something you also should do. But when you're meeting 2 people, I guess I should have went into detail. I guess you're saying like if you're introducing one of your friend guys into another girl, you actually should give their names and a little bit of information about each of the 2 when you're putting them together. So what'd you say? Okay.
He said okay.
Hey, Ashton. Ashton, on
Yes,
doing
sir.
that, Ashton, could you give an example on that?
For number 2?
Yes, please.
All right, let's just say I have my friend Elizabeth, then I have my friend let's see, this Caleb, okay? So if let's say Elizabeth, this is Caleb. He goes to Madison Central High School, he plays football, he's in the band. Caleb, this is Elizabeth. She's on the dance team. She's well interacted in the SGA, and she's pretty good person, I think you guys should talk or communicate. That'd be an example that I'd use. Okay.
That's
All
a good
right. So,
example.
question number 3. During an in-person conversation, what % of your messages is delivered through your spoken words? So what you actually are saying, like when you're face to face with somebody, what % of that is actually delivered through spoken words? If anybody wants to answer that, I'll just
I'll
wait.
answer it.
80 to 90%.
50%, 50%, 100%.
70%.
I think
35%.
50%. Hold on.
Yeah.
25% because
Wait,
you're
hold on.
Hold on, wait.
100%.
I say about 87%. 80%, 85%.
100%.
93.
It's
Any,
70%.
yeah, it's 7. Whoever said, whoever.
Talk at a time.
93. Pause. Whoever says 7% is correct.
Stop guessing.
Yes.
7% is the right answer. 7% is the right answer.
How is 70% correct?
All right, because hold on, I'll give you an explanation of why
According to a study by Albert Mehrabian, basically your message is 30% like your tone, 55% body language, and 7% just your words.
There you go. He answered exactly what I was going to say. So
it's 93.
That's why actions speak louder than the words.
right, exactly.
My group beat down.
Okay, so question number 4 says, when you say I'm sorry, what does your apology imply the most?
That you were wrong.
Oh.
That your feelings.
In other words,
Not your sorry.
That's really true.
Vulnerability.
That's your
Wait, can somebody from
one person talking.
That you feel bad.
Too many people talking.
Vulnerability.
there's too many people talking. There's too many people talking at one time.
My fault,
People
actually.
talking at one
Do you
time.
mind muting everybody?
Okay.
Suggestion. I have a suggestion.
That you feel
There's
bad
a.
for what you've done.
Let me hear a bit,
You
dog.
want to try to make it
Vulnerability.
right.
You need to
You want
change.
make it
Can you mute everybody and just have us raise our hand?
Yeah,
Make them raise your hand because
okay.
it's not gonna everybody.
So if you're from group number 6, would you answer this question? Anybody from group 6?
I would say what your apology implies about the most is that you care about that person's feelings, because you can say that I'm sorry, but you're not mean it. But when you say that I'm sorry, and it also has something to do with your body language and your tone, because you don't want to just say I'm sorry, and then that person doesn't take it, doesn't accept it. You want to know that you're passionate about their feelings, you care about their opinions and what they're talking about. So when you say I'm sorry or I apologize, you want that to get across in a positive way and not just seem like you're just saying it just to be saying it.
Right.
Okay, hold on one second, Ashton. I'm gonna mute everybody, and unless they have their hand raised, they're not gonna be able to talk. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We're going to unmute Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jaden Jackson, you're on.
When somebody says I'm sorry, they can't walk away expecting you to promise to follow your words. What I mean is, if you let's say somebody breaks a window with a baseball and he apologizes to the owner, says it's never going to happen again. The owner of the house doesn't know if it's ever going to happen again. He can't assume that it's never going to happen again, because if he does assume that it's going to happen again, now there's a bigger problem.
Right. I agree with you. Both of those answers are correct. The next question is.
Well, hold on. We got a couple more people that want to.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Mr. William Benjamin, you're unmuted.
Okay, so honestly, here's what I think. So when you apologize to someone, it really shows your compassion about someone. Like, let's say with my sister, So let's say if I knocked out her tower or something like that. Yeah, here's what you should do. Instead of just saying it's never happened again, my way is I say I'm sorry, and then I'll help her rebuild, kind of like rebuild it. Yeah, all by myself to show I'm really sorry. That's what I would do.
Right.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
I guess we can do one more person and see what they have to say. There's one thing I'm looking for.
All right, Mr. Allen, Justin Allen, you're unmuted.
And another idea is that another way you can apologize and show that you're sorry is by you can say you're sorry and what for, and kind of try to show that you will never do it again.
Right. That's what I was looking for. That one thing, that one line, that you promise not to do the same thing again. So we can move to the next question. Question number 5. In the first sentence, the very first sentence of a thank you card, not the dear such and such, the first sentence, what should you do in the very first sentence?
Okay, let's see. James Couch.
Okay, I feel like in the first sentence you should be like telling what you what you thankful for, because what's the point of saying thank you if you don't know what the reason you're saying thank you for?
That's what you should include, but that's not the first sentence. So let's see if anybody else has it.
Okay, Reggie B.
I think the first thing is addressing the person, and then that's when you're actually going into saying what you're thankful for. Like this kind of what James was saying, but you have to actually address them as a person first.
So when you say address them as a person, like what do you mean?
Like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
This question's kind of tricky.
All right, let's see if somebody else can get it, right?
Yeah, let's see if somebody else can get it.
Let's give Noah a chance. Noah Grant.
I say you should compliment them, or give their work, whatever they did for you, a compliment.
That's correct. That's the right answer. That's the first thing you should do when you're writing a thank you card, whether it's digital or you're writing it out. You should always give them a compliment. And I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Kevin, for letting me get on. And those are all the questions that I have for this discussion.
All right.
Hey, Mr. King is trying to say something. I don't know if he can get unmuted or not.
Mr. King?
R. King?
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to get an example of that opening line that you just talked about, or a couple maybe, just to be more...
Okay, so let's just say if I was writing a sir, I guess you could say if I was writing a woman, I'd say I don't necessarily just that was a tricky, because when I'm writing a thank you card, I don't necessarily just open out with a compliment. So I'd say I don't know. Can anybody else elaborate on that one? I'm trying to see. I wouldn't want to say they're beautiful.
Ashton, what grade are you in?
I'm in 10th grade. I'm in 10th.
You're in 10th grade, right?
Right.
You just received a scholarship from a society, right?
Right.
For all your
Okay,
hard work.
okay. I know what I'd say. Okay, I'd say thank you from I like to say we can't do that. I'd probably compliment them till they have a beautiful society, I guess you could say, or a kind society. And I'd like to thank you for this scholarship opportunity that you've given me, and it'll be well put to use.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Okay. Any other example? Oh, go ahead.
You talking to me still?
Yes, sir.
That's the only way I probably could say it that I would sound comfortable saying. I don't know any other thing that I'd say.
So I'm gonna actually ask this gentleman to come and talk to us and see what he would say when he writes it. Mr. Bass, how would you do that in that thank you letter?
Thank you. Hey, gentlemen, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, you can always say that you're excited that you received something from a fine institution that you admire and that you look forward to attending or to receive a scholarship. And then you can go in to say that, you know, the scholarship will be greatly appreciated. It will help me cover my educational expenses and so forth. So the compliment can always talk about what you admire about that person, that institution, because it puts them at comfort. It makes them feel good. And then you go into what you're thanking them for.
Thank you, good brother. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to move on, and we want to thank you guys all for your questions, but we got a little bit more to go through. So now we're actually going to move into Devontae. Devontae, are you on? Devontae, you should be able to unmute yourself.
He's unmuted. Devontae, can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you. And I'm unmuted. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My topic today is the Red Summer of 1919. The link right here is a video. I don't know if you want to click it because it's just going to give you a debrief. It's not speaking, but it's just going to give you a debrief about what the Red Summer and where it happened and what happened involved into it. So I'm looking on my screen, and many race riots happened during the Red Summer between April to November of 1919 across different parts of the United States, mostly in the South, in Norfolk, Virginia, Charleston, South Carolina, Washington, D.C., and even Georgia, along with the hardest hit place, which was Chicago, Illinois. A quote from James Weldon Williams, hope I said his name right. The Red Summer of 1919 broke in fury. The colored people throughout the country were disheartened and dismayed. The great majority had trustingly felt that because they had cheerfully done their bit in the war, conditions for them would be better. The reverse seemed to be true. Basically, what he sat there and he's saying in that quote is when the African Americans, veterans who came from the war, who did their time in the war, and when they came back, they were expecting to get jobs, just like everyone else. However, that failed to come true. The total reversal happened. Right when they left, it was the same thing that happened when they came back. Right here, it says that shortly after the end of the World War I, when recently returned Black veterans grabbed their guns and stationed themselves on rooftops in Black neighborhoods in Washington, D.C., prepared to act as snipers in case of mob violence in July 1919, others set up blockades around Howard University. A Black intellectual hub created a protective ring around citizens. White sailors came home recently from the war, and they have been on an assaulting rage and was damaging people, hurting people, and even lynching Black individuals in the streets. This entire situation stretched out because of whites feeling that blacks were overtaking their factory jobs and any job that they had in the factories or anywhere else that they can get, which caused major deaths across every major state in the South. Racist attacks in 1919 were widespread in many places. They were initially by white servicemen and centered upon 380,000 Black veterans who had returned from the war, and because of their military services, Black veterans were seen as a threat to the Jim Crow and racial subordination. Indeed, many African-American soldiers returned from the war armed with a renewed determination to fight segregation and a near constant barrage of brutality. So this is what they did inside the war. And when they came back, they were treated as if how they went in, as threats. At the same time, many cities across the North were reshaped, called the Great Migration. By the end of 1919, about 1 million African Americans had fled segregation and a total lack of economic opportunities in the South for northern cities. Between 1910 and 1920, the Black population in Chicago grew by 148%, and in Philadelphia by 500%, creating massive anxiety among white people in northern cities that Black people were taking jobs, housing, and security. During the Red Summer, during the Red Summer, massive anxiety became mass violence. Between April and November of 1919, there was an approximately amount of 25 riots. Black soldiers had heeded the call to make the world, quote, safe for democracy, and gone to fight for America in one of history's bloodiest wars. Now they had to come back to the country that recognized neither their service nor their humanity. Having just returned from battle, however, Black veterans were not inclined to take the abuse down. Across the country, former soldiers used their government-provided weapons training to defend their neighborhoods against vicious white mobs. That's the video, correct. And at the end, there's a quote titled Claude McKay, "If we must die, 1919. If we must die, let us not be hogs, hunted and pinned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, or let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. That then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us through dead. O kingsmen, we must meet the common foe, though through far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for thousands blow, deal one death blow. What through, I can't read this. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying but fighting back." In conclusion of the summer of 1919, did signal a permanent shift in the way Black people responded to white violence in America, and presaged increasing self-defense tactics. Before the war, the NAACP had 9,000 members. By the early 1920s, it had 100,000, signaling a growing boldness and cohesion, I hope I said that right, to the organizing that would eventually plant the seeds of the civil rights movement. And that's it.
Okay, Vonta, you want to give them the exercise?
Yes, sir. So On the next slide, there's an exercise that right here about the Red Summer, and we have 5 questions. When did the Red Summer happen? How many casualties occurred? Which group was targeted during the Red Summer of 1919? Where did the Red Summer occur? And this last question, this is an opinion question. Do you think this event of mass casualties towards African Americans can happen again? Why or why not?
So, Devontae, do you want them to do breakout rooms, or you want them to raise their hand and give some answers here?
I want them to do breakout rooms, if that's okay.
Yep.
Oh, people are raising their hand. Do I click that or?
Michelle.
Yeah, there we go. If you just tell us who you'd like for us to unmute, I'll take care of that.
Can you unmute Ty Barry Kennard?
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Hello. The Red Summer exercise. So number 1, when did the Red Summer happen? It happened in 1919 after the end of World War I.
Okay.
How many casualties occurred? I think about like 9,000 casualties occurred, somewhere like that.
Okay.
African Americans were targeted during the summer of 1919, and mostly in the North, sometimes in the sometimes in the South, because of the Great Migration, gave African Americans opportunities to work at factories, which is a good opportunity, but increased racism by a lot. And what do I think about this event? Casualties towards African Americans will happen again? No, because racism still goes on today, but it's not actually bad as it happened in the early days, in the 1920s, in the 1900s, all types of stuff. So that's my answers.
Okay. Thank you, Ty. Can I get Jaden Jackson?
Yep.
Okay. When did the Red Summer happen? Happened during the summer of 1919. How many casualties occurred? Approximately 1,000. Which group was targeted during the Red Summer of 1919? It was the African American working class. Where did the Red Summer occur? The Red Summer occurred basically in any large manufacturing city. And do you think this event of mass casualties towards African Americans can happen again? Why or why not? We all hope it won't happen, but it can happen. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. It can happen. We don't want it to happen. So we need to educate people on it so it doesn't happen again.
Great answer. Great answer. Thank you. How many can I do? Because I just did 2. How many can I do?
Well, why don't you do 2 more?
2 more? Okay. Zion, newbie.
Am I muted?
Yes.
Oh, so for the final question, you're talking about casualties and stuff. I mean, right now, even if you look at it, I mean, with this virus, even though African Americans only account for, I think it's like 6% of the population, we have like 42% of the of the deaths, or it might have been people that have gotten the virus. So I think it's still happening to this day, but it's more systematic and it's more spread out instead of it just being instantly where we saw people getting shot. It's more systematic, in my opinion.
Okay. Did you want to answer the other 4 questions by any chance?
I mean, Red Summer happened in 1919. I'm not sure how many casualties there were. The group that was targeted is obviously African Americans, and the Red Summer happened, I think you said it happened in New York.
So with that, actually, no, I'm not going to say nothing yet. I'm going to get 2 more. Thank you, Zion. Justin Allen. Is he unmuted?
Yes.
Okay. Justin?
Yes. So since you said like the black veterans were on the roof acting as snipers, like, did it really work? Like, did they like manage to like take out the mob?
So that's an interesting question. I can answer that right here and right now. From what I've been researching from history.com, they said that they did manage that, but they were overpowered. Not just with their weapons, but with that it was more than just one white mob. So you know the KKK. They are established in, I'm gonna say, most of these southern states, if not all. They were one of the groups that orchestrated this situation that had the attack planned out on African Americans of the working class at that time.
Wow. So you're basically saying like, so the black people had a strategy. They were going to get the KKK. I mean, they were going to get on the white mob, which were, I don't know, kind of like, let's say they were like a horde of zombies. So you're saying that they overpowered it, kind of like the zombies would do in movies, you're saying?
In terminology, yes.
Like in World War Z, when a lot of people die.
Yes. Do you want to answer any of the other questions?
Do you think this event? I mean, do I think this event? Do I think this event of mass casualties towards African Americans can happen again? Maybe it might not happen again as long as we try to prevent it from happening, and we have enough protection. Maybe.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
And we're gonna say this last person, Jeff Bell.
Yes, sir. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I wanted to address the last question.
No problem.
And the answer is yes, it can happen again. One thing you have to consider is that, when you forget history or don't keep account on things that have occurred, they may reoccur. Unfortunately, in America, our lives are devalued. If you could look at the indifference and lack of empathy from the larger society and our trials and tribulations and the inequities in our society, that comes, like I said, indifference, lack of empathy, white supremacist value system is well in place. This contributes to the election of our current president. And all it would take is a spark, a mob mindset is real. So I think we have to, without being paranoid, understand that anything that can happen once can happen again. And I think how we gird ourselves is we have to heighten and maximize the value we have for each other, heighten and maximize the quality of our functioning as we pursue freedom and justice and prosperity. And we also have to make it a point to not be guilty of this lack of empathy or indifference for each other as we are subject to by, the larger society. But yeah, I believe that the answer to that last question is yes, certainly.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jackson?
So, hey, Devontae?
Yes, sir.
So let's, we're going to speed through the time here. I want to get Zion on, all right?
We're good.
And we'll come back and address this again next week a little bit, all right?
No problem.
You and I talked about that.
So, we're going to move on to you, Zion. I know that you have a little bit to talk about, so we'll move on to you in a second.
Brother Jackson, did you get my note about Zion? He's going to be ready to present next week.
Okay. But I don't know if he wants to revisit his first challenge for the classroom.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. He's.
It's fine because I can. Do you have the presentation up? Because if you have that up, it's fine.
I do, but it doesn't look. It has a little bit on there. So, Zion, if you're not ready, we can talk about it next week. But you can talk about the challenge. Okay.
Okay. So the first original Kappa League challenge, we had 181 people on the classroom, and 6 people did it. So the challenge is that you have to make a campaign ad talking about why you should be president. And each chapter is supposed to make one, and then send it to us so you can upload it. So that was an actual Kappa League challenge. We're extending the date that's due, and then the winner of that, their video is going to be uploaded to the National Kappa League Instagram. So, and then the next part, that will be just uploaded. We'll just talk about the next part next week, like Mr. Burnett just said.
Okay, so we will have another challenge from Zion next week to talk about that. But here is the Kappa League challenge. If you have not done so, please look and create your campaign ad and then load it into the Google Classroom. Once your campaign ad is loaded, it'll be selected and you will receive a prize. And the winning ads will be promoted on our social media so that you guys can be able to see them again and again. All right. So now we're going to actually turn it over to Brother Harrison. Brother Harrison has a couple opportunities for us as it pertains to STEM. So, Brother Harrison.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Good evening, brothers and Kappa Leaguers. My name is Tony Harrison. I'm a member of the Alexandria Fairfax, Virginia alumni chapter. I serve as the Eastern Province Guidewright Chair, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to share a little bit of time with you today. Just a little bit about my background. I'm a cyber systems engineer for Northrop Grumman. Doing that for 20 years. I work on incident response and building tools for analysts who respond to cyber attacks. That's my day job. During the nights, I'm the statistical technical coordinator for the Washington Wizards of the NBA. And on Sundays, I do analysis for the NFL for the Washington Redskins. So what I want to do is share out my screen. You'll see a couple opportunities, and we'll clean this up a little bit after this presentation. But I'm going to
you have the ability to.
Okay. I want to continue. Yes. I will get screen 2. I'm going to share it. And so you should see a screen that says code.org.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So code.org, and a lot of you are probably familiar with code.org, but it is an opportunity to kind of get your feet wet. I would say this is a beginner version of coding. And you'll see there's a lot of opportunities on code.org. So the mouse catches up. One of the things that code.org does every December, they have an event called the Hour of Code. So, we'll get you familiar, but, these are coding opportunities that are free, won't cost you a dime. All right, so if we move over to something that I would consider in the intermediate, maybe the next level, are opportunities that are provided by Microsoft. And, we talk about Microsoft a lot because we've got opportunities. If you live near a Microsoft store, they have coding classes that are also free that you can do. You can visit, you can get with your Kappa League chapter, or you can get with your parents and you can visit the Microsoft store. But this is what you can use online. You can learn about Minecraft and different intermediate levels of coding. So the second opportunity that I have listed is Microsoft Make Code. And we'll get you access to these websites. Again, these are free. The third one, which is I consider advanced, this is also, it's called Free Code Camp. And there's different opportunities, JavaScript, web design, a little bit more in depth. As you know, coding and cyber, these are things that take, some time. You got to put time in to learn these technologies and these skills. So, this is something, if you're a senior, junior, or senior, and you really want to get something a little more in depth, these are free opportunities on freecodecamp.org. And then the next one, which is not on the slide, but I know we have some of you guys who are really ready to push that envelope, take it to the next level. This website is called edx.org. And these are opportunities, free coding opportunities, a lot of different technologies, computer science, language, data science. But these are sponsored by universities like MIT, Harvard, Berkeley, Texas. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so you can see some of the opportunities in engineering, business, and management. So this one's got a lot more out there, but I know that a lot of you guys are interested in gaming. So you can put in the search engine, if I can spell it right, and we're going to say gaming. We're going to search. And for example, if you look at Harvard X, they have a self-paced program, and self-paced means that you can, there's not an instructor that's leading the class. You can take this on your own pace. So if you click on the introduction to game development, you can see there's other video game development. There's different choices, but this one's self-paced, and you can enroll, and you can take your time. It takes about 12 weeks to go through it. Now, when you sign up for a course like this, you'll want to use the audit version. You don't have to pay anything, but if you're really serious and you want to get a certificate that says Harvard University at the end, you'd have to pay a little bit of money. But I'm sure if you're able to go through a course and complete it, that we've got some gentlemen in the fraternity that would help you out if you want to get that certificate. So that one is called edx.org. Also, Brother Burnett asked me to give you guys something that you could use on your phones, as an app. And I know a lot of you guys are probably already familiar with Khan Academy. These are also free. So you can go into your phone or tablet, whether you have an iPhone or you have an Android. You can go to the Apple Store or the Android store and download the Khan Academy app, and you'll be able to take some of these classes right on your phone or tablet. Again, these are also free. So the next tab I want to share with you, and all you guys, I hope by now, have subscribed to Kappa League TV, right? Say right. So if you go on Kappa League TV and you want to subscribe to Kappa League TV Eastern Province, you'll see some of the webinars that Brother Jackson and I and a lot of other brothers in the fraternity have put together over the last couple of years that will kind of give you some ideas. We've got Kappa STEM Day that we did, and that talks about the Guide Right Core 4, or what we want to do with STEM. We've got the NSBE Pre-College Initiative. NSBE we have a partnership with, which will only cost you $5 a year. And there's a lot of opportunities for you seniors. There's scholarships that will be available only if you're a National Society of Black Engineers junior member. Blacks at Microsoft, it's got a lot of great information. Computer Science for All has a presentation on the Hour of Code. And we've got Cybersecurity Awareness Week. We've had Brother Campbell from University of Memphis. We got Dr. Brother Banks from Norfolk State University. And then we also have a National Cybersecurity Careerness Awareness Month. So these are all recorded. You can take your time and look at those. So everybody, remember Kappa League TV. I know you all know about that. And just search for Eastern Province. Or if you have any questions, give me a call. So I don't know if we still have parents on, but I would recommend you to take a look at Stay Safe Online, particularly now with the coronavirus. There are a lot of scams and phishing and different things. So if you take a look at Stay Safe Online, you'll be able to protect yourselves and really look at it, taking advantage of people right now, especially with these checks that are being mailed out. So I would just say be careful anytime you go online. So these are some resources that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, Brother Harrison, I'm going to ask you to come on. We've got a parent session we're going to schedule for next week. So,
okay. And then last, you know, Stop, Think, Connect. That's another website that gives you a lot of information. We really want you guys to be safe when you're getting online, when you're on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. You don't actually know who you're talking to a lot of these times. People are spoofing and pretending to be your friends, but you guys know, you know how it is. So I will end there. I know Brother Burnett, this short video may or may not play, but it was developed by a group of students here in DC, and I'll play it. So some of you older guys.
But Brother Harrison, let's send that out.
Okay.
We're trying to keep this out an hour, so we're gonna close up pretty quick here.
I'm good. It was only 30 seconds. I'm good.
All right, well, just send it to me and I'll send it out to everybody.
All right. Well, gentlemen, brothers, thank you for your time, and look forward to talking to you guys later.
Brother Jackson, you want to bring the screen back up for the closing? Again, in closing, what I also want to put out is we're going to have a National Kappa League Achievement Leadership Challenge. There's a link there, and I'll send that out. But go to the National Kappa League forum. No, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go to it. But basically, there is 9 questions. And so the first 3 questions, you complete that on the challenge, you know, I will mail you out a Kappa League pin. The second level, there's 3 things to do. Those are listed there. I'll send you an Army t-shirt. The last 3 is the top level, and that'll be a $10 gift card. So you complete all 3 levels, you get a pin, you get a shirt, you get a gift card. Well, also, as you start to obtain these levels, we'll start to put your name up on our social media. If you go to the next slide, Ben. So that includes the Kappa League Challenge. That includes the I Am Achievement. And we'll send this out to your Kappa League advisors so they can forward it on to you. Next, please. And then, again, just always a reminder, things to do this week. Take care of yourself, be safe, be healthy, get some exercise each day, do the things that we've asked you to do, particularly subscribe to Kappa League TV. And with that, again, appreciate your time, and we're trying to hold these down to 60 minutes. So you guys have a great week, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks to all the presenters. Good job today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We want to thank you guys for joining us again. Please be on the lookout for the invite for next week as we do that. And once again, if there's something that you guys want to talk about, please make sure that you communicate with your Kappa League advisors, and they will get it to Brother Burnett. And then you guys will be able to be one of the hosts on it. And you can talk about something that you have a passion for. That's what these sessions are about, is giving you the opportunity to talk about what you have a passion for and to share it with your fellow Kappa Leaguers. So once again, we thank you guys for your time and for coming off this week.